So we know any increment in fuel prices would affect food prices, and for the month of June, Agric Profiling and Service Organization ISOCO is projecting a mixed outlook for prices, with some more lower prices for food items. Joining me with more on this is Francis A.J. Danso. He is content manager at ISOCO. Great to have you on the marketplace, Francis. So before we come to your projections for June, give us a review of how food commodities traded in May.
Thank you, and good afternoon to your viewers. So in the month of May, we realized that some commodities experienced some drop in prices, and that it was within the range of about 0.5%, and we had others also gaining about 12% within the month. So it was a mixed of the two, looking at those that gain, but you realize that those that experienced losses, the losses were not quite significant as the ones that made gains within the month of May.
Okay, and so you are projecting a mixed outlook with some more lower prices for June. How do you explain that? So
gradually, we are approaching the harvest season for a lot of the commodities that are traded on the local markets. And so once we do that, traders will want to prepare by moving out the old stock and then preparing for the new ones that will be coming. And so that is how come we are predicting that there is going to be a mixed we are going to have prices trading mixed in the month of June. And the ones that experience some drop in prices in the month of May, we are expecting that they will then experience some significant reduction in prices in the month of June as well.
Okay. You know, for the latest inflation rate announced by the Ghana Statistical Service, we saw the highest in 8 months, and that was based on the fact that we had been through a lockdown that affected so many things. You don't think that could have an impact on the pricing in June as well, as we begin to experience the fallout of the lockdown?
I think that the post-COVID period is quite interesting. You realize that now a lot of the measures and restrictions have been eased, and so people are trying to pick and go about their normal business. And so for trading activities, we expect that it wouldn't have a lot of influence on pricing because of the way the situation has been for some time now. We've been in this eased mood in terms of trading activities for over a month. And so we expect that the normal things that happen around the month of June will continue. We are not expecting any serious changes in the circumstances that affect the price.
Okay, so this should be some good news for the public, for people who will be shopping this month. But stay with me, Francis. I want to pick your thoughts on one other issue, because the Food and Agriculture Organization wants a comprehensive look into concerns about high food prices in Ghana. Now, over the last few weeks, many have complained of the spike in food prices at the various market centers, despite the sustained supply of food amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's listen to Aboagye-Wiafe Gabriel, the FAO regional representative for Africa, speaking to that issue.
We need to understand why the price of food is increasing, why the cost of food is going up. Unless we understand the root causes, we will not be in a position to address them. The solution is to make sure that there is a sustained food supply in the market. So what is it that is preventing us from making sure that there is enough food available in the markets? Is it logistic-related problems, transport-related problems? Is it trade-related problems? Is it production-related problems? You know, in agriculture, you don't just sow the seeds now and get the results tomorrow. It takes time. But unless the agricultural activities, including planting, are taking place at the right time, and if seeds and other inputs such as fertilizer are not provided to farmers at the right time, and if we miss the planting season, it means we will even contribute more to the cost of food next time. So it requires a comprehensive approach. We have to understand the root causes, but I understand that the government of Ghana and its partners are doing their best towards addressing this in a systematic and strategic manner. In the short term, I think this is something that all countries, not just Ghana, are faced with, this temporary shortage. Some of it is really caused artificially. There has been some price gouging, as you know. People panicked initially, wanted to buy almost everything, whether they need it or not. They were afraid, that. But then when over time, when they realize that this is not the case, I think things are going to get better. So FAO has been working with the government in the context of the UN countries in Ghana, as well as other partners such as the World Bank, the Africa Development Bank, IFAD, and so on, to support those things, production, trade, also supporting.
The FAO's Aboagye-Wiafe was speaking to us earlier this week. Francis, what do you think? I mean, he seems to suggest that there's sustained food supply, so there's no reason why food prices should go up, drawing our attention to the fact that there are other things that are triggering price hikes.
Yes, I agree with him on some of the comments that he made. But we should also bear in mind that, as he alluded to, food prices, we don't price commodities in a vacuum. And so things that affect trade will also affect pricing. And so there is a logistics bit, there is a storage bit, and then there is the interest, or how much a trader will also want to get a bit of the whole mix to be able to price a commodity. But during the COVID period, we realized that initially there was panic as to what to expect. And so people went in buying things that they did not need, which means that ordinarily supply for a certain period is being consumed within a very short time.
Right.
We were also out of the harvesting season, so we were relying on stock that we already had. There was this logistic bit of it, because when the lockdown came for some parts of the country, movements were restricted, which affected businesses as well. And then there is the storage bit. Now you realize that markets are being decentralized because of social distancing. And so ordinarily, where people could store their goods, they are being changed. And so they will have to find new ways of storing. All these are going to be added cost to the trader, and they will in turn pass it on to the consumer. So yes, prices are rising because of some of these things. But I think that it presents us with a situation where we need to also look at the underlying causes. How are our commodities traded, and how do we store them? All this in a bit to make sure that we do not face a situation that we are facing now in the near future.
Thank you so much for your perspective this afternoon. Francis Ejedanso is content manager with Isoko, speaking to us. We are grateful for your time this afternoon.